Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. I've got a fun fold demonstration for you today. We're going to be making a pocket card. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. A couple of reminders: if you do not have our new annual catalog, which looks like this backwards, or our new July to December mini catalog full of great holiday products, plus the celebration brochure. Celebration, our biggest annual promotion, is going on now through the end of August. And we have great incentives for and exclusive products for people when they shop, host, or join. So if you are not currently working with a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to earn your business. Feel free to message me or email me for catalog requests, and I'll be happy to send you the complimentary copies. All right, I'm going to flip my camera around so we can get started right away. You know, it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a regular creative project Facebook Live because of Andrea and John's wedding and Emily's move, but I'm getting back in the swing of things, so I'm excited to get started. While I'm changing my camera around, please share this live video and invite others to join us for tonight's project. Tonight, we are going to be using two brand new products. We're going to use the Very Best Occasions. This is from the new July to December mini catalog. I love it because it's got a couple of sentiments that you would use perhaps at Christmas time, during the holiday season. And it's got some others saying thank you, thinking of you, birthdays, and it's easy to combine sentiments, having one on the front and one on the inside as well. So I'm really enjoying this. So this is my choice for tonight to feature. And I'm also featuring the Rings of Love Designer Series paper. This is a freebie in our celebration product. You can get this 12 by 12 DSP free with a $50 order in July and August. So let me just show you it really quickly. Great for fall, huh? I love this with the birds. And then some watercolor. This to me even looks like frost, ice, snowflakes, that sort of thing. So I think that would be a neat pattern to use in the winter. I love this one. I think this would be great for somebody who's moving. Maybe you're doing a, farewell celebration for somebody moving away, or it could be used to make cards to welcome somebody to the neighborhood. And then this pretty medallion pattern on the back. This would be a fun one to use with the gnome stamp set that we have. And of course, the logs. And then we have what to me looks like poinsettias. And then tree trunks or tree branches on the back. But this DSP coordinates with a suite in the new annual catalog as well. I love it when we can earn freebies that can coordinate with some of our other products that we have year-round or for several months at a time. But I'm choosing to use this tonight solely on its own, not with its coordinating products, because I want to show you the versatility of it. And therefore, I'm using the Very Best Occasion stamp set, as I mentioned. And you know what? I'm just going to leave this right here for now. And I'm trying to decide, should I show you the sample or just make it? I'm going to show you the sample. So tonight we're making a pocket card. Okay, this is what it looks like. And then you have a place to write a message, Also would be great for, depending on the occasion, a birthday or graduation, something, to make a pocket card like this and insert a gift card as well. So let me show you how to make this. It's really quite simple. And I should tell you that the finished size of this pocket card is 5.5 by 4 inches. Most of ours that we make are 5.5 by 4 1/4. This one is just a little bit narrower at 4 inches, 5.5 by 4 inches. So it fits into our standard medium envelopes very well. And the reason for it being a little short at 4 inches rather than the 4 1/4 is we just want to have a nice overlap here. And I'll show you what I mean by that. You're going to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5. So that's the same size that we typically cut for that standard size card we make. But instead of our usual scoring, we're going to score at, on the long side, score at 2.5 inches, and then score at 6.5 inches. I love that our paper trimmer has this arm that we can open and close as we need it. And once you have that, go ahead and burnish those score lines with your bone folder. Give them a really nice crease. And you'll have 2 flaps. The smaller flap is going to be for the bottom. The larger flap is the top, okay? Smaller and larger at the top. So let's go ahead and make the pocket part of this. So on the small flap, just put a very narrow line of multi-purpose glue on each end, the left and right sides, and then close up that flap and hold that in place for a few seconds. And that should be dry and holding by now. Now I've cut some designer series paper from the Rings of Love DSP that I just showed you. I've chosen to use this flower for the top, and then I'm using this watercolor wash piece, which is the back of the birds. Depending on what the back side is, you might choose to use both the front and the back of the same sheet, or you might do some mixing and matching like I do. So I'm just going to, and I should tell you, this is 5 1/4 by 2 1/4 inches. 5 1/4 by 2 1/4. And I'm going to adhere this to the top flap. Just make sure you have a nice even border of that Night of Navy cardstock all the way around the DSP. And then my other piece measures 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. And I'm going to adhere that to that bottom flap, which is now the pocket front, or even the inside. I have a piece of white, basic white cardstock. This measures 4.5 by 3 1/4 inches. 4.5 by 3 1/4. So a little bit smaller than we typically cut for the inside of a card, but it needs to be roomy enough, small enough that we can fit it into that pocket very easily. And as you can see, it does. So for the card, pocket card, I've picked 2 sentiments, thinking of you, and then sort of the continuation of that with comfort and love. So with comfort and love, I want to stamp on this inside piece. And I want it to be, you know, halfway down. Doesn't necessarily have to be. If you'd rather have it at top so people see it as soon as they open the card, that's fine, but I would like mine in the center. And I'm going to stamp on a piece of scrap paper first, practicing to get it straight. I don't know if you can see that. I'm a little bit out of range here. But I just like to always practice first. Okay. Oh, that looks good. And it's straight. Okay, and I was stamping with Knight of Navy. So Knight of Navy cardstock and Knight of Navy ink. And then I'm going to, I've got a scrap of basic white to stamp Thinking of You. And I will punch this out with our fancy label punch. And I'm punching it so my sentiment is right in the center of the punched piece. But if you're planning to add embellishments or a bow or some kind of stamped image close or around to your tag, you do want to consider that as far as do you want it centered or do you want it a little closer to the bottom or the top? So that's the nice thing about using our punches from the back side. We can see exactly where we're punching. Ooh, lots of people on tonight. Thank you so much. Alrighty. So this is my inside. Okay, I've got this, but as you can see, I've added this pretty flower and some leaves to go with it. And making this flower, I was trying to mimic these crushed curry flowers with the red centers. So I think I'm going to do the same thing for this. So with my medium daisy punch, I'm going to punch crushed curry cardstock twice. And then I will use my multi-purpose glue. Just a dot in the center will do. I'm going to lay the second one on top, and then I can move this around just a bit until I have the petals on the top layer centered between the petals on the bottom layer. So I'll give that a moment to dry. And I'm also going to punch with, oh, what's it called? Is it called the sprig punch? Or is that an old one? I can't remember, but this is in the annual catalog. So I'm going to stamp with Evening Evergreen, and I'm just choosing colors that blend, or not blend, that coordinate with the Designer Series paper. I think my camera must be a little closer than usual because I see myself falling out of the viewing area quite easily. I think next time I'll put it up just a little bit higher. All right, so let's put all this together. I'm first going to decide where I'm putting, I don't know if I want that there because it covers up the other yellow flowers. And it can be off to the side. I think I'll go ahead and do it just like I did the first one. So I'm going to adhere this in the center of the top flap, but I want it to overhang that flap a little bit. So I'm going to use mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to put, put them at the top of the tag because I don't want the adhesive that's on the tag to touch the bottom portion of my pocket card. Getting tongue-tied there. See what I mean? Here's an alternative also. You could put your adhesive just on the bottom of the tag and not the top, so it would adhere to the bottom, and then it would be like a closure or a catch for the top flap. All right, so there's two different ways you can do that. And then I'm going to add my crushed curry flour. And I put one dimensional in the back. And I just put that one dimensional in the center. The reason for that is now it's really easy for me to just tuck my leaves behind it because I only have adhesive right there in the center. So it's popped it up. Okay, I think I'll do this. And if you need to trim off the ends or use just a part of what you punched, that works great too. Now when I'm adding pieces like this and tucking them underneath, I typically just use like 2 dots of the multi-purpose glue. So I'm going to tuck this here. And the reason for that is I know with those 2 dots of glue, it's going to stay in place nicely, but then it gives a little more dimension because the rest of the leaves still lift off the paper a little bit. I'm going to tuck some green in here as well. I think I'm going to take off those bottom ones and just use this part. And I'm even going to flip it around maybe to get it going in the opposite direction. Yes, I think I'll do that. So again, just 2 little dots of the glue. I'm just going to tuck them in like this. I kind of like them to overlap a little bit. And then I've also got this piece that I punched. And I thought this could go in right here. Pull off that bottom. Tiny bit of glue. And I'll stick it down just like that. All right, what do you think? Okay, I know oftentimes we think a lot alike. So you're probably thinking, Mary, that looks pretty good, but you need some bling. You need to finish it off, right? I totally agree. So I'm going to, I guess I do have a third new product. I said 2, but I have 3 new products. This is the, and it's actually labeled wrong. It says red and green adhesive back dots, but I think in the mini holiday catalog, they're called festive pearls. But what I love about these, and they're all the same size, but you get 4 colors. You get a nice shiny gold, a shiny silver, and then you get this pearlized soft succulent color. Could also be mint macaron. And then you get a pearlized red. So I don't know how well you can see the pearlized feature, but they really are quite pretty. And I like that you get some nice selection with the 4 colors. Whoops. Now I typically, when I'm filling in flowers, don't put quite so many embellishments for the center, but once in a while I like to use these tiny small embellishments and really fill in that middle, that center of the flower. Just makes it extra special. But if I were making a lot of these, of course I would not be using, what did I use here? 7 of those tiny pearls. All right. But But if you're somebody who likes to do, the one-of-a-kind cards, I know some people do that. And oftentimes others, like me, were often making several at a time or multiples. So just kind of depends on how many you're making or how fancy you want it to be. But we have lots of great embellishments that would work for the center of flowers just as well. And then I'm just taking some of the petals, not all of them, some of them, and just kind of dragging my thumbnail along the top of it, and that sort of curls them a little bit. You can do this before or after you put the flower on. I typically do it after, just because if I fluff it first and then stick it down and I'm still working on the card, a lot of times it flattens out. So this is my pocket card, ready to go. All right. Let me show you a couple more examples. And then I had 3 I wanted to make. I didn't get the third one finished, but I think I'm going to use that either Friday or Monday. Anyways, so I used the same Ring of Love Designer Series paper for this one. You can see the same watercolor paper on the bottom. And remember from this card, the back of this is the birds. So here I took one sheet and cut the top and bottom. With this, I used 2 different sheets for the top and bottom, okay? But again, these sentiments are from the, what did I do with it? Very Best Occasions stamp set. Sending you smiles for every moment of your special day. And then on the inside, it says happy birthday. Now, do you notice something different about the inside of this one? On my sample and the one I just made is just a single piece of basic white. What happened here is what made me decide I needed to mount the white on this mint macaron cardstock is I stamped happy birthday. I wasn't satisfied. It was kind of crooked. So I flipped it over and stamped again, was satisfied. But then I realized, oh, wait a second. The person pulling that out then is going to notice my mistake on the back. So I had to find a way to still use this piece, but hide that mistake. So I just cut a piece of mint macaron cardstock a little bit larger. So the white is 4.5 by 3 1/4. So my mint macaron layer is 4 5/8 by 3 3/8. So that was an easy fix for my mistake. All right, so there's 2. And then this is the last one. Do you remember that paper that I said looks like poinsettias to me? And again, this sentiment is from the Very Best Occasions. So what I did here was I cut the same size DSP for the top, 5 1/4 by, 2 1/4 inches. And then instead of using DSP on this whole pocket front, I cut a piece of coordinating cardstock. So this is soft succulent, which goes perfectly with the colors in the DSP. So that's the same size as the DSP here on the first 2 cards, 5 1/4 by 1 3/4. Then I cut a 1/2 inch strip of the DSP and just glued it to the front. And then for my insert, I took a 1/2 inch strip of the same DSP and decorated the top. Now, there is something I have to say about this sentiment. It says, if you haven't read it, with a little more sparkle and a little less stress, let's make this Christmas the very best. And I have seen this sentiment before I've, purchased this stamp set. But I always thought, oh, I don't know. That doesn't sound like I don't know. It just didn't sound right, like the right kind of sentiment. It talks about stress and, I'm thinking, oh, I read this and I think, oh my gosh, we have to work hard to make it the very best or whatever. And when I read it again, after I bought this set, thinking I probably wouldn't use that one, I started thinking, no, there are ways we can help each other out and make our holiday season less stressful and make it the best. And I thought, wouldn't this be a nice way to invite people to a cookie exchange or a gift wrapping party or a card or gift tag making party? Or another thing is, last year, I had the littles over to my house, and it was actually a gift to the parents. I said, if you want to take some time to finish up Christmas shopping or do whatever you need to do for the kids or have a date night, turns out they did both because I get the kids overnight. But that was my gift to Matt and Carrie. So I thought, this would be perfect for something like that as well. Lori Hall, I love that idea of sharing a recipe. Wonderful. I love that idea. Share a simple recipe. Yes. You go to a holiday party and you make a dip and somebody's like, oh, I love that dip, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, just write it down. And many people even give baked goods or jellies or sauces that they make, things like that, as gifts. Wouldn't this be a nice way to, a nice card to give with that gift and enclose the recipe for your favorite jam that you make or whatever it may be? Okay. So what does everybody think? Okay, again, the dimensions are super easy. You're going to start with a piece of cardstock that measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And then on the long side, you're going to score it at 2.5 and 6.5. And then your DSP, 5.25 by 2.25, 5.25 by 1.75. And then your insert is 4.5 by 3.25. And I will be putting all of these dimensions in my blog post. Hopefully that will go up tomorrow. Yes, that is the plan, that this will post tomorrow with the full video, all the supplies used, and what else? Dimensions. Okay. And of course, there'll be photos of each of them. But now I think I need to offer a giveaway, a card giveaway. So if you would like to possibly receive this Thinking of You pocket card, in the comments now, please type very best occasions. That will help both you and me remember the name of the stamp set. Because you know how some days are, especially when you're middle-aged like me. It's hard to remember my own name sometimes, And now we've got all these new products from the annual catalog, lots of new products with the July to December mini holiday catalog, and of course, products in our celebration promotion. So a whole lot of new going on. So go ahead and type very best occasions. If you type that in the comments, I will put your name into the drawing to receive this card. And I will announce the winner as soon as I do that. Please note that if you are a card winner, I announce it on the same post where I did the Facebook Live. All right. And also note that I don't immediately put it in the mail tomorrow morning because I want to take photos. I always have it at my side when I'm writing up my blog post, writing up the comments and post for the YouTube video, that sort of thing. But it usually goes in the mail within a week or so. All righty. Are there any questions about the new catalog, celebration, anything like that? Remember, the designer series paper that we used tonight is called Rings of Love. Okay. And it is a celebration freebie. So you can get a package of this free with a $50 order. And please note, too, that those orders during celebration, they can be from the annual catalog. They can be from the mini catalog. You can add clearance items. You can add things from the kit collection online. What else? Prepaid paper pumpkin subscriptions are awesome. And when you buy a 3, 6, or 12 month, it automatically qualifies you for at least one celebration product. Alrighty. Lori's asking, did I talk about the wedding at the beginning? I did not in this one, but I did in Friday's Facebook Live, which was, what was that? The mini catalog and celebration brochure walkthrough, or tour the catalog with me. And you can find that here on Stampin' Piece with Mary Knabe, or also on my YouTube channel. And if you go to, I did a special blog post. Usually I don't do a whole blog post about my personal life. But this time I did because so many of you were asking. So if you go to stampinpiece.com, there you will see a whole blog post. I think it posted yesterday, or maybe the day before, either Tuesday or Wednesday. And you'll see pictures from the wedding. You'll see my daughters all dressed up. It was a glorious day. It was truly a joy-filled day. Everything went super well. And just, yeah, I can't stop thinking about it, which is kind of like, is that a good thing? Or is that kind of crazy? But yeah, lots of life, big life happenings in our family with Andrea and John's wedding, and then Emily's new apartment and starting her new job on Monday. Oh, thanks. You know, let me flip this around since we're talking. I always feel weird, like I'm talking to myself, even though I know you're listening and you're seeing. But yes, the only time I've had my hair done like that was for my own wedding 32 years ago. And I've never had my makeup done like that. And oh my gosh, that morning, the bridal party, and both myself and John's mom were here getting our hair and makeup done. And I texted my sister, and she's had it done. And her daughters have a number of times, but I texted my sister and I said, oh, this is so much fun. Like, I mean, truly so fun. I thought, oh, I want to do this again, you know? So, you know, if I win the lottery, I'll get to have my hair and makeup done more often, right? But yes, I was telling somebody today, I had that dress on and I just had the best time. I was so proud of my girls and proud of our family. And I felt, you know, how you just kind of fix yourself up and it kind of gives you a new sense of confidence. And that's just, gosh, so refreshing. So thank you for your compliments. I do appreciate that. And I'm not sure who gave me the stars tonight, but thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that. Beth, you say you love it when somebody does your hair. You know, I'm not good with doing hair. And for many, many years, I had real short, cropped haircut. I'm talking short. And I loved it. It's quick and easy. You do have to do it every day, but it's really fast. But with long hair, I don't know how to curl it and use the wand and all that. And certainly don't know how to do updos, so it was fun. But yeah, it's exciting. John and Andrea sent some pictures to me and Emily and their dad, Andrea and Emily's dad, today, and it was fun to see them having so much fun on their honeymoon. And I think they come home Friday or Saturday, so eager to hear about that, and certainly looking forward to, oh, Sharon, thank you for the stars, you're sweet. Certainly looking forward to getting the professional pictures too, but I'm sure that will be several weeks yet, and when those come, I'll share as well. All right, everybody, thanks so much for spending part of your Wednesday evening with me. Thanks for indulging me too, as I, talk about my family and my kids. And I don't know who said that, but she said, "You're not crazy, you're proud." Who was that? Lori Hall. And I guess I've always said, if you're going to brag about one thing in life, it's your kids. Every parent has the right to brag about their kids. So very nice. Kathleen, that's a good question, because I don't really know how the stars work, to be 100% honest. I really don't. I have no idea. I'll have to look into that and see how it really does work, because I've been noticing that on different people's lives and such. And I think there's something different if you do a YouTube live. There's some way to throw out, I don't think it's stars, but something like that, comparable to that. Anyways, have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay safe. I know the weather's crazy in a lot of places. And I will be back on Friday at 2 p.m. And I look forward to sharing another creative project with you then. Take care and have a good night. Bye.